if you're on TikTok, if you're on Instagram, if you're on Facebook, please reach out to us. Let us know you have questions. We want to hear from you. Mike's very educated in this category. So Time to Own is what the program's called. And again, questions about how to receive money, help to buy a house here in Connecticut. What's interesting is my buddy Brad Wiseman in Pennsylvania, who's again going through the same kind of process we are the rest of the country. I thought this was available throughout the whole country. It's not. And no other state has a program like this. That's pretty amazing. One of the benefits of living here that we know of. I mean,
I do know the woman that taught the class for CHFA.
Yeah.
She basically designed the whole thing.
Okay.
So it was something, there's federal monies that started out, and by the way, for the record, last year we had $20 million for this program. It was gone, they rolled it out in June, July-ish. It was gone by October, November, something like that. It was gone. They rolled it out again this year with another 20 million, but the governor has put behind it that there's supposed to be another 50 million for this. That's not even hit right now. I don't know if it's been fully allocated yet, but when I asked a question on training for this year, I said, what about the 50? She said, well, really, it's like a total of 70 because we have the 20, and then there's going to be ultimately the state's 50.
Okay. And that's currently happening right now.
Well, we're still on the 20. And then assuming that the state of Connecticut has their other 50 that's coming behind it, I haven't seen anything or read anything. It might be there already once this 20 is gone. I just haven't seen anything.
Is this work only for single family homes?
No.
No,
And,
because we're working one where they're doing multifamily.
It's a
No,
two-family. It's a two-family.
So
Yeah, I think they'll only
three-family, it gets wonky.
Yeah, I don't think they'll do 3 and 4, but I could be wrong. I don't know that, to be honest with you. But definitely 1 and 2, and a CHFA
What, wonky?
a condo, even a condo as well. Condos we can do as
Yeah.
well.
oh, condos work too.
Yep.
So you have single family homes, you have condos, and you have 2 family homes. That's pretty cool. That's quite a depth of ability to use this program.
Yeah.
Me.
Well, I want to go back to something because Mike was talking earlier about down payment assistance.
Yep.
And I think you were getting into the topic we were talking about where the down payment assistance money doesn't necessarily go towards the down payment. What can they use it for?
They can use it for all the closing costs.
Closing costs, thank you.
Closing costs are important.
Because you were talking about, folks, you gotta have some skin in the game, you gotta
Yes.
come up with some of your own money.
That's
A lot of folks aren't aware that there are out-of-pocket costs,
That's exactly
such
right.
as closing costs.
So,
And not to change the subject, but on the down payment assistance, they'll give you, 5% towards the closing costs. And that,
so hold on a second.
and that's at 1% interest rate.
So
1%.
they can go and take, let's say, some money, put the money down out of their own pocket. Then, because if the closing costs, they don't have money they have to 5%. They don't need their own money for that, which is pretty, right? Plus your own personal money for deposit, plus the 25 or 50, depending what you buy,
Yep.
right? And then you get the whole,
Right.
and then you get the whole, well, 5% is typically covers all the closing costs of a purchase.
Mhm.
Because normally we talk about 3 to 4% on average.
Unless it's Hamden.
Or
Taxes might be a little bit
West
higher,
Haven or
so,
Bridgeport, yeah. You're good point you're making, where the 5% definitely makes a big difference.
Yeah.
Is there a maximum amount that they will give out based on, for example, the 50, if 5%, I just wanna know, is there a maximum of 5% closing cost based on the purchase price? Like, not more than $25,000?
Well, it's only gonna go up to what your closing costs are. So if you're buying a $300,000 house and let's just say 5%,
$15,000.
is 15 grand, you might not need 15 grand for that, so they'll only give you the 12
12.5, whatever.
or whatever it is. So they're not gonna let you walk away with cash in your pocket.
All right.
That would be cool.
It
Would be.
Dinner,
Never
steak
happened.
dinner after closing.
Yeah, exactly.
It's funny. I remember one of our clients. The first client we had that did time to own. First of all, when you do time to own property purchase and you go to the closing table, I want you to prepare your hand for lots of signatures. There is 3 loans on the purchase,
That
right?
is correct. Yeah.
And with
If you're doing down payment assistance, yeah, that's correct.
and with With the 3 different loans you have, now the program that's involved, you have to stay in the house for how long?
You don't have to stay in the house any length of time. There's no prepayment penalty. But with CHFA, there is a potential for a recapture tax that can, for up to 9 or 10 years.
So you really need to stay in the house for 10 years.
Ideally,
So you buy this property.
but just for the record, not to back up. There could be a recapture tax for a percentage of the profits, but there's all kinds of income limits and so forth like that. That's also gets put into the whole calculation.
What you're
It's
saying,
not a simple.
what you're saying to me is you need to talk to Mike in order to figure this stuff out, because I mean, I thought one of my clients got a check back at closing. Is that possible?
Check back at closing.
They got money back, a check from the attorney.
Well, they could have gotten check back because
The deposit,
because their deposit was coming
Okay.
back to them.
Maybe that's
Yeah,
what it
that
was.
makes perfect
there's
sense.
the
Yeah.
deposit.
Okay.
Thank God I got the brains over here. Thank God I got the brains.
Thank you again to Mike Christoforo. Please make sure to reach out to him. Michael, if you could please shout out your cell number to everybody here.
203-314-7352.
That is a great number to know. Make sure you write it down and make sure to reach out, call him, text him, email him. The email information is on the screen. Thank you very much, Dan, for all your work over there. We'll wish you guys a wonderful evening, and we will see you next week,
What is next week?
Tuesday.
No,
Surprise guest.
surprise guest.
Her name is
If it's a surprise guest, you can't give the name.
Jamie
No,
Franco. Will be live with us next Tuesday night.
Just got
Team
volunteer.
Powerhouse on the show. She's got a lot to talk about. She's got 4 new listings joining the market. You're gonna want to hear the show because nobody's as hot as she is in the market. What's going on?